My girlfriend broke up with me because I slept with her sister. My girlfriend 22F texted me 29M that we need to talk tomorrow, and I know what's in store for me. But in order to understand the whole situation, I will explain the context. As a teenager there were two things that characterized me, and they were my tall stature, I am currently 6 feet 5, and my deep voice. Unfortunately, I was too skinny and shy, so my middle school and high school years were shrouded in constant mockery that severely affected my self-esteem, so I never had a girlfriend. The only time I had the courage to ask someone out ended with her laughing in my face. Before I entered college I decided I wanted to change my situation, so I put myself through an intense exercise regimen. By the time I got in, I already had a beefy body which, combined with my height and voice, quickly made me popular. It wasn't long before I lost my virginity in a night of casual sex, but going from being a shy and unpopular guy to one surrounded by female attention caused a reaction in me that I'm currently ashamed of. Although I had many opportunities to have a girlfriend, I was so intoxicated by my new popularity that I didn't want to miss the chance to have as many women as I wanted. So I began to see women more as objects for my satisfaction than as people, which caused me to do a lot of harm to several women. Just so you don't misunderstand, everything was always consensual and for mutual fun and enjoyment, but I admit to having broken a few hearts. From then on, it was several years of casual sex, friends with benefits, etc., until finally, at the age of 26, I was unhappy with that lifestyle. I didn't enjoy sex anymore. It felt more like an obligation than something for pleasure, and I felt a terrible emptiness inside when it was over. I even wondered if I wanted to reach 60 like that, alone and without any kind of serious relationship, just with the memories of several sexual partners who would eventually forget me and start families. In the following years I fell into a deep depression, but thanks to the help of friends and certain groups I was able to turn a new page in my life. So much so that last year I met my girlfriend, and funnily enough my first girlfriend, because in all those years of casual sex I never had a serious relationship. We have been dating for 5 months now, and last month she decided it was appropriate for us to meet each other's families. I introduced her to my parents and they loved her. Then she took me to her house to meet hers. I got along very well with them, although I couldn't help but notice that her older sister looked at me strangely during dinner. When it was time to leave, her sister came up to me and asked in a low voice, "Don't you remember me?" I looked at her confused and said no, and she said something that petrified me. We went to the same university. That night when I got home I couldn't sleep. I literally lay awake for hours trying to remember who she was until I finally remembered. She was a religious girl I met through a friend, and after some time I lied to her and told her I loved her so I could have sex with her, all because of a bet with some friends. She was a virgin and firmly believed in waiting until marriage, but I managed to convince her that I was too. I wasn't, and that our first time together would be special, even telling her that we would be boyfriend and girlfriend. Once I got what I wanted, I proceeded to ghost her for weeks, and when she confronted me face to face, I just pretended she was crazy. I didn't think about her for years, and now it turns out that her younger sister is my girlfriend. I know, it almost seems like some kind of cruel divine joke. Since then, I have been in constant fear that she would tell my girlfriend what happened. My fears came true today, as I texted my girlfriend early this morning to ask if she wanted to go out to try a new restaurant I had heard about, only to have her not reply for hours, until finally, just a few hours ago, she texted me to say that her sister had told her something and that we needed to talk in person tomorrow. I know very well what she is going to tell me, and I am ready to accept it. I did wrong and I am aware of it, and I believe that everything I did will eventually come back to me. Still, a small part of me hopes that there might still be a future with her, although I really doubt it. Depending on what happens I will write an update. Relevant comments. Greater than Yasim's karma has come back for you, dude. I do feel slightly bad for you because it seems like you've cleaned up your act and you're trying to do better. However, if you realized who your girlfriend's sister was last month, you had time to actually apologize first and be the one to tell your girlfriend the truth before her sister did. Whatever happens tomorrow, I hope you do decide to apologize to the both of them for what you did. It's the right thing to do. Just hope you don't go back to being the kind of guy you were in college if she breaks up with you. Oop. Greater than I thought about it several times, but I never had the courage to tell her. She doesn't know what I was like before, and that, coupled with having to tell her that I was the one who took her sister's virginity and then dumped her and was a jerk, wasn't the easiest thing to do. Also, I guess I wanted to prolong the inevitable, enjoy a little more time with her before that happened. Update: March 19, 2023. Hello everyone. First of all, I want to thank everyone who has commented, both those who have given me advice and words of support, and those who have criticized me, except for that one person in private messages who said I deserved to be stabbed. Please get help. Today I talked to my girlfriend about the situation and what happened. Well, it's kind of surreal. The meeting place was our favorite coffee shop at 10 a.m. When I arrived, she was already there. I sat down and I'm not going to lie, I felt like my heart was going to jump out of my chest because I already had an idea of what was going to happen. She struck up a little casual conversation and we talked for a few minutes until she finally decided to tell me what had happened to her sister. On Friday she got a call from her sister asking about me and if I had said anything to her about my time at the university, to which she said no. Her sister went on to explain the situation to her, which shocked her so much that she needed a whole day to process it before she decided to set up a meeting today to talk about it. She said she was unwilling to fully believe the story until I confirmed it, as her relationship with her sister made her seriously doubt its veracity. I will explain this later. At the time, I was tempted to deny it, because from the sound of it, she was not willing to believe her sister, and there was no proof of what she was talking about, so I could easily lie and maybe get away with it. However, as one of the comments on the post told me, in order to grow, I have to face the consequences of my actions, so I decided to confirm what her sister said. My girlfriend just responded with an, "Oh," and then said she had to go to the bathroom, get up, and leave. I waited at the table for about 40 minutes, getting to the point where I was almost sure she had left me, but after a while she comes back to the table. She tells me that what I did to her sister was terrible, and that she thanks me for it. After that it was about 4 hours of explanations, which I will summarize as best I can. It turns out that my girlfriend's older sister is the golden child of the family, and the relationship between the two of them has always been horrible since they were little. She always bullied her, physically and emotionally abused her, and the stories she told me about her childhood and adolescence are so horrible that I don't think I could write them here. She also mentioned to me that her sister was a gigantic narcissist and that she had undoubtedly lied about being a virgin when we met because she had had numerous boyfriends since before she went to college, all of whom she had convinced she was a virgin, and apparently she continued to do this after college. She even mentioned that she has only had one boyfriend besides me since she turned 18, because any other possible suitor she might have, her sister would quickly take him away from her, even convincing her ex-boyfriend to cheat with her. Apparently, the reason she wanted to bring me to her family was to show me off to her sister, who has been single for some time. And when her sister told her about what happened in college, at first she just dismissed it, thinking it was another one of her sister's lies, but certain factors like the fact that we actually went to the same college made her doubt it, and so she wanted to confirm it. Now that she knows it's true, she says that although she feels confused and even a little disgusted, she can't help but feel happy that she managed to beat her sister at something, and the fact that someone bested her sister at her own game is wonderful. To make a long story short, she said that our relationship can't be for now because, despite her relationship with her sister, it would be too weird for her to date someone who fucked a relative of hers, as several of you have said and even I acknowledge. She told me that despite my bad behavior, she didn't hold a grudge against me because she felt her sister deserved it for everything she did and apparently continues to do. We parted on good terms, and she said that if she felt differently in the future, she would call me to see if we had anything. And that's that. My girlfriend broke up with me, as expected, but the rest was nothing like I expected. Even now, as I write this, I still have trouble believing what happened. I will take the advice someone gave me in the comments and refrain from dating for a while and focus on myself.